Happening today, leaders around the capital area are coming together to discuss what the region needs to do to ensure a prosperous economic future. The Lansing Regional Chamber's Economic Club is hosting a conference to discuss data on the area's school systems, housing market, and regional competitiveness. They will also be discussing ways to attract more people to the area and what could happen if population numbers don't improve. Today's conference is being held at the Kellogg Center in East Lansing from 11:30 until 1:30. We will have more on this story tonight on